YOLO!
Bonjour.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hello.
We should be more pumped after that intro. Hello, everyone.
I have to wait for my mic to unmute every goddamn time. It
because
takes
your
a few
laptop's
minutes.
like a billion years old. But
Listen, my laptop is from 2007, and it's like 20 years old, and it's still kicking and doing what it needs to do. So I'm gonna keep doing it till it fucking blows up.
Yeah, it was before CERN switched the whole timeline
Right.
over, so that's kind of crazy.
I have a relic.
It's still in relic.
I do, for sure. It was made the same year I graduated high school, and that feels like a long time ago. Maybe not for some people, but for me, that's a whole lifetime.
A long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome to Uninformed, everybody. As you can see, there is more than just 4 of us on the screen. Because despite what people say about us on Twitter, people actually like us. And they keep showing up and hanging out with us.
You read Twitter?
I just
don't actually. We
So
have
who are our
Jeff
guests?
today, and we have Shane today. Jeff is from Strange Recon. Everyone should know that because it's every single morning. You should be watching it, waking up. And Shane is just here now. He's just one of us. He's just part of the show. Shane comes from KARI. You know how there's like organisms?
He was like
some organisms like they just like split off when they procreate, and it makes like 2 things. Like that's like from the beginning of time there was like one, and then they split off, and now there's just both of them, and they're here.
That's what happens.
Thank you for having me.
What?
Yeah, that was great.
I said I'm not being compared to a Fred worm.
We had so much fun last week. We just had to have Shane back.
We had to.
We did, and it was a spicy one. It was real spicy.
I think we're gonna.
I hope we have a spicy topic this week.
We have lots of them. I do want to start off by saying,
look at the panel.
Do you want to start off by saying that this is not a wig, Simon? I apologize. This is
that's her actual hair.
Just my hair. So
all right
today.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anyone in the chat have anything they would like us to add into the bowl before we get started? We'll give you guys maybe like a minute to add something in here that you may want us to talk about, like flowing juices from Gobstopper, maybe.
Do you guys want me to call out people in the chat?
Yes.
Awesome. We have Gobstopper, ever the critic of the way that I talk. Hides in Long Grass. Aaron Desario's here. Joe 5D is 5D.
Oh,
is here.
Aaron's got a good one. The crazy plane lady with the reptilian thing.
Ooh, the reptilian crazy plane lady. That's a great one to put in there because I have a lot of opinions.
Shit, I feel like we just need to pick it on purpose now.
Night Gazer's here. Operation Shutdown's here.
What up?
Danielle is here. Simon Fly is here.
Dear.
Because Tony said 5 deer and instead of
okay, so that's not a topic.
Deers.
No, that's just because I'm stupid.
And then I get some deers.
You're not stupid, Tony. You're just special.
I am very special. Yes.
All right. I think that's it then. So let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get it to it. Get it right.
Wait,
get it right. Get it tight.
Who's sneezing?
Corey. Who else would it be? He's over there slumming it on the couch.
Tears are lit. All right.
Just listen to a rear admiral praising the skinwalkers of the Pentagon book, Simon. All right, sorry, I had to read that. Can't wait to see those.
Who?
Yeah.
Ready?
Who?
Yeah.
We got our first one. It's quite a twisty one here.
Thanks, Twitch.
And it is just Donald Trump.
That's
okay. Let's maybe try to go in a row here. We can start with Jamie. Maybe we'll go Jamie. We'll go counter. Wait, we'll snake
I'll go
it
first, and then I'll mute myself so everyone else could talk, and I don't talk over them.
Oh, that's how thoughtful you are today.
How thoughtful. Okay, so I don't like Donald Trump. I think he's a big, stupid, ugly, fat pig cow man who poops himself and does a bunch of drugs, and his mind is just marinating in like Diet Coke and cocaine. But we were talking about, before the show went on to Tony, I was talking about the idea of when Donald Trump, got elected as president, the idea behind it was like this normal guy can get elected president and it doesn't matter his qualifications or anything like that. He just wants to go and be president. And I love the idea that was behind him and his campaign. But as a human being, I think that he is a garbage trash person. And I won't say anything else because then I'll get myself in more trouble. Period.
All right. Let's hear it,
I
Jeff.
just want to. Okay.
First off, I think we should check where she was on January 6th.
Right?
Vegas.
It's possible that she was 100% in DC and maybe even made it into the White House. She needs to be investigated. All right. Anyways, Donald Trump. I grew up looking at Donald Trump on TV because I loved boxing. Donald Trump was always a mobster. To see Donald Trump make it to the White House just confirmed every goddamn feeling I ever had in my life about what I think politicians are. And maybe someone who I might see this link today that I know might be watching this, I won't say, but I kind of think they're all kind of snakes. And no matter what, and I don't really care if you're an everyday person or a career politician in every overlord's pocket, no matter what, you're gonna fall in line. That office isn't just some free place. It's paid for. And it's paid for by the money of the giant conglomerates that run this world and the people that tell politicians directly what to do. So I just saw a mobster taking a role of a perfect spot for a mobster. I don't know. I am pretty pessimistic about it, though. He did have great hair for his age and one hell of an ass. All right, moving on.
Shane?
I'm kind of
Nothing
nonplussed
anyway.
as he didn't affect me personally, being over here in the UK and all. But I found the situation quite entertaining as we were going through a similar one with Boris. Two blonde-haired, crazy, fat idiots running two of the most powerful countries in the world was quite a tense butthole clenching time. But like, you know, Jeff said, all of them are snakes. They're all going to fit the agenda and fall in line. Doesn't matter what, you know, story they're tooting. It's going to be the same. We're all going to end up the worse off for the end of it. So, but his personal issues, when we get talking into that later, I'm always happy to meme on Donald.
The Donald.
All right. The Donald.
KARI?
So, for one, Jamie's description of Trump there at the beginning was, I thought she was talking about Hunter Biden for a second, but Trump is just a useful tool for the conglomerate and for interest, like private business interest. He's one thing to the public and another thing to private.
Not a useful
equity,
tool, a useful idiot.
There's a difference.
I mean, I don't
That's
see
how
much of a difference
useful
there,
the idiot can be.
yeah, but he wasn't the mastermind. He was just the face of it. Whatever and whoever was running it, I don't know. But trust the plan, bros.
I think it says something about our two countries that we needed someone so layman and trying to act dumb as fuck and tell us, hey, I'm here for you, even though it's transparent that they're not here for our interests because they were cut from blue cloth and different, you know, silver spoons in their mouth and that lot. But so many people bought it because we're stuck in austerity. Like, our two countries have the worst, you know, pay gap between the richest and the poorest people ever. And I feel like people needed to look for a savior. So even if that savior is a fucking blown up balloon with a blonde wig, it's something, isn't it?
No, and I agree with you. And that's what my statement of like the idea behind him of like just an everyday person becoming president was such a great thing. The problem was just who they put in office. Unfortunately, it attracted the wrong type of people. They didn't see just an everyday American. They saw somebody who was incredibly biased towards certain ideas and groups, and they saw that that person rose to power. So they were like, oh, I also have those ideals. So more people like me should rise up, and we should all, you know, go back to these awful, horrid ideas and values that America used to have, which is realistically what the whole slogan of Make America Great Again was, is they wanted to go back to the good old days of like, like horrible injustices and things, and like the only people who really are the people who are important were the ones who made money and were white.
Well, my country did it worse because we're the only country on the planet to inflict economic sanctions on themselves. We we left the European Union, and our economy has taken nothing but a kicking since then.
So
All right,
I just want to address this comment quick. So like, elected, being in the country, the sentiment was very, very anti-Boris. So I still to this day don't know how he won that election.
Well, Boris was won through a coalition. So basically, he picked his party, which technically comes second. They joined forces with the party who came third, and then their combined votes meant that they had more seats in the House. So they won by majority. But technically, they lost that election. It proves democracy isn't real in the UK.
Yeah, that was probably the worst election for feeling gutted. Because watching it on TV and then it starting off really good for Labour, and then by the end of it, it was like, yeah, that wasn't good. And I didn't understand why, because everywhere I looked, it was very like working class Labour leaning everywhere. So makes you wonder.
Okay,
get out of town. Son.
All right, I guess it's my turn to talk about Trump. First of all, I don't fucking like the guy. Believe it or not, I don't fucking like Trump. And the reason I don't like Trump is he won't shut the fuck up. He would have done so much better as a president if he would have just shut the fuck up. And I've said this multiple times. If that dude would have just shut up and just rode on the shit that they were doing, he would have been fine. Now, there are people who will come out and say that he's racist, he doesn't like these people, he doesn't like those people. Yeah, he said a lot of stupid shit. But if we want to go into saying stupid shit, we should talk about the shit Joe Biden said in the 1990s when he was a senator, in the 1980s, in the 1970s.
We didn't pull Joe Biden, we pulled Trump. Stay on topic.
I am aware of that, but one of them has been in office for 50 years, and the other one had been in office for 4.
Personal point of privilege, we can't compare worse and worse. It's just looking at one person and holding them accountable for their actions singularly.
Yeah, but one of them got elected president, and we are now suffering those consequences.
Both of them were elected president, and we're suffering the consequences of both of them. Is the point that we're trying to make?
I'd agree with Jamie there.
I think that it's not fair. We're talking about Trump and nobody else. So just your points about him. We could bring up Joe Biden, and he's in the bowl, and you know that he's in the bowl. We have Sleepy Joe in there, and you know it.
I know he's in there.
We'll talk about him, but keep it to Trump, because if all you have to say. The only bad thing you have to say about Trump is talking about Joe Biden, then you're not actually saying anything.
No. A good thing I have to say is not a single new war started.
What?
Trump. Talking about Trump.
Iran.
No.
He broke international law and fucking took out their second in command. While she was not at war with Iran, and now you are. So yeah.
Obama wasn't at war with.
Obama didn't cause airstrikes on a sovereign nation.
Americans.
Obama just used drones the whole time, but
he was at war with the countries he initiated the drone strikes at.
No, he was not at war with Yemen.
He wasn't at war with Yemen.
The United States never declared war on Yemen.
Right,
Obama authorized a drone strike on a wedding in Yemen that killed a 16-year-old American, and his response to it was, maybe you should hang out with better people.
Okay, yeah, so you're still wrong because Obama and Trump are both pieces of shit because, as we said before, they all fall in line. But Trump did start.
Well, they all do.
We're hurting people's feelings.
That's fine.
We didn't even get to finish.
So what do you think about Trump?
You can't have a president of the United States. So this is the reality of America. America has been at war for 90% of its existence. Because we're world police. America, fuck yeah. So we just have to fucking bomb people because we have the military industrial complex that we have to feed billions and billions and billions of dollars to. And we'll do it for anybody. We don't care who the fuck it is. We want to fight a proxy war against Russia and Afghanistan in the 1970s. Absolutely. Let's give all the money that we can to the Mujahideen. Oh, turns around in the 2000s, the Mujahideen turns into the Taliban, and we have a fucking problem. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about Donald Rumsfeld sitting with fucking Osama bin Laden and taking pictures with him, and sitting with Saddam Hussein and taking pictures with him, because we funded those fucking warlords that we ended up having to fight.
We didn't pull them. We just pulled Trump.
But that's what happens.
Take a breath. Bree, you want to wrap up your thoughts on Donald Trump for us before you pull the next topic?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way as you. I do see some of the things that he did that could have been helpful, but I think that it didn't turn out that way. And I didn't like a lot of the regulations that he cut. And I also believe that our country was in a better place with each other as individuals than before he ever stepped into office. And that's when we saw a huge divide and a resurgence of more racism. Whether or not people want to blame that on Trump or not, it still happened. And I always just look at like the proof of the overall picture rather than just like going into each individual situation. Regardless of that, it caused this huge divide in our country to the point where they had to storm a Capitol and someone was killed. And it was just, I think it's disgusting, and that's all about it.
Hey, that was just a party.
Hey.
They weren't. Hey. No, I'm sorry.
You're not cracking a few eggs.
And like, again, like it doesn't matter if that was a setup or not. It's just that the second he came around, it caused a huge thing. And I even think that people just use his name like as a way to like weaponize their beliefs in a sense.
Mhm.
They're just like
Absolutely.
Trump 2020, and it's like they use that as a fight. He became this individual, almost like a figurehead for them to be the great all America. Fuck yeah! Whether or not that was his intention, that's what happened.
Mhm.
Therefore, I'm not a huge fan of the guy. That's it.
Well, that makes me more afraid of like if a more average person who wasn't a billionaire or had this like celebrity backing profile that everybody had known about for 20 or 30 years that tried to become president. Like, what would happen if that actual normal everyday person became president? Like, what the fuck would happen?
I think it would have been
As a
better
government.
because I think it's quite evident that he's quite the narcissist, even just the way that he speaks.
Mhm.
And people liked the fact that he had his own tower, that he had his own helicopter. They saw this man coming in with the G glasses and the money signs, like ching, and that was like a figurehead for them. So I kind of feel like it would be better.
I've been close to this guy my entire life, not like knowing him, but like close in like proximity. And he's always been a world-class douchebag. I don't care about anything about politics, because once it crosses the line of holding office, it's all kind of a load of horse shit. But
Yeah.
the guy literally closed down an exit in New York City so people couldn't get to Brooklyn easily. I mean, to the Bronx easily. So you could get off right there at Trump Tower. Off the West Side Highway, there was a exit that you could take for years and years that millions of people could use. And this guy was like, I don't want these fucking scumbag brown people driving past my $1 million car. And then he shut down the exit so no one could go there anymore. It was the dirtiest move in the world, because then everyone had to drive almost an hour longer north. People that didn't have the gas to drive in the first place, or time away from their family in the first place. The guy is a bloated piece of crap. Let's go on.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic.
Next.
Who's Donald Trump?
Who?
Some guy.
The guy from Home Alone?
Oh, that guy.
Home Alone 2.
He wasn't. I thought he's still around.
Why do I feel like we've already done this topic? You guys can let me know. Fake news.
Fake news.
That's Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald keyed that's his invention. Fake news. That was he literally made that word, fake news.
I think we did.
I feel like we did. I don't really have anything to say on
Norman.
it. Yeah, try a different one. Give us something better, more spicy, nothing political.
Well, then
Donald
that's
Trump
hard.
used it. He
That's what
stole
it's all
Norm
about.
Macdonald's thing.
I swear we did this one too.
It's a hot
The
dog.
topic should have been Donald Trump's penis. That would have been a good
Yeah,
one.
there you go.
I think we have. We definitely talked about pop culture media boundaries, I think.
Yeah, we did 100%.
Yep.
Pop
Yep.
culture media boundaries.
Yeah.
That's a tough
Yeah.
one. I didn't go to school for this.
I
Try
vaguely
again.
remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, fun. Polygamy.
Ooh, polygamy.
And polyamory is same. Oh, wait, no.
No, different.
No,
different.
polygamy is more than one wife.
Yeah. Polygamy
Mormons.
more than one wife, like
Yeah,
Mormons,
I know.
exactly. Sister
No.
wives.
I think that's a totally
Polyamory
separate one.
is-
Well, this is just polyamory.
Okay, just polyamory. Okay.
Just polyamory.
What
do the
you have to
circle
tell me what
again.
this
That's
is.
not as fun.
Polyamory is
Consensually
when-
having relationships with more than one person.
Yeah, it. So
Oh, y'all are
Yes.
going to hell.
that's okay. I was going there anyways.
I don't know what
Bringing
to say. I'm
potatoes.
sorry. I don't know what to say.
Okay, so polygamy, sister wives. I watch a lot of sister wives clips on
Wait,
TikTok.
polygamy or polyamory?
Wait, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
We're doing
Chris? What are we doing?
polyamory.
Polyamory.
Okay, polyamory. Ooh, polyamory.
Yeah, I
One
better fucking rewrite
one
that.
time I was in a polyamorous relationship when I was in my early 20s, and I was dating someone who was ex-military, and he was cray cray. He was
Sorry.
he was like part blown up by like a little blow up IED thing, whatever you call him. He had like some metal in his brain. He was real crazy. But we were in a weird open relationship. And I'll be honest with you, it was one of my most pleasant relationships I was ever in. Nothing bad to say other than like he was a crazy person. But like the polyamory part, fantastic. Loved it. Nothing to complain about. I think that if both sides are open to it, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that sex is a human animalistic instinct, and I think that it should be treated as such. I understand that there's people who have emotions and things attached to it, and like, great for them. You're not the kind of person who should be, banging multiple partners. But I think that if you are a person who that does not bother you and it does not bother your partner and you both want to do those things, I see nothing wrong with that path for people. I don't understand why people get so upset by it. I really genuinely think that it's like breathing almost. Like it's something that we do as humans. It's a part of we eat, we sleep, we fuck, we fight, we love. Like
Mate,
those-
feed, kill, repeat.
yeah, exactly. Like it's just
That's
part of
Slipknot
it.
album.
And I
It
also
does
think that
sound
it's
loud.
unrealistic to
Yeah.
think that one sexual partner can completely fulfill everything that it is that you need in life. And I think that that's okay to admit, and that it's okay that if you are a person who needs more things fulfilled outside of than your one partner can give to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you just have open conversation about it.
This is not a UFO show.
This is not a UFO show.
Not anywhere near it.
See, we should have called it. This is not a UFO show.
We should have.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, that's my thought. So take
Jeff?
it from there, Jeffy.
I am ready to talk about the Devil's Three-Way.
The devil's
No.
three-way.
Now,
Is that
one
like
time,
a Boston delicacy?
yes, one time, I was in a polyamorous. What is it?
Polyamory.
Polyamorous relationship. But my girlfriend found out and she wasn't too happy. All right.
That is
All
not
right,
it.
that's all I had to say. All right, moving on. I'm out of here, folks. Good night.
Shane?
My turn? Okay. Similar thoughts to Jamie. Like, it should be down to the person. Obviously, emotional investment and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people are choosing polyamory because they can't deal with being alone, and I think that's the wrong avenues of why they should go around that aspect. Like, you should be comfortable within yourself before you sit there, because then it turns into just an unhealthy obsession of just constantly having one person there all the time. But yeah, we live in a world where you can do what the fuck you want. We've been doing stuff like that since the 1800s, if not earlier. It's like you said, it's natural, but within your means, within your boundaries, know yourself. Yeah.
Respect.
I'm not though.
I'm with Jamie and Shane. Like, as long as it's consensual and it's not a harmful practice in your life and it's not harming anyone else, then whatever. It's like what you do in your own bedroom. I don't really care, as long as it's not harming anyone. So that's what I got. What you Tony?
Unless they like it. All right.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I don't care what other people do. I have the relationship that I have with my wife, and we are exclusive to each other, and that's the way it is. If other people want to have a relationship where they bring other people into it, that is on them. I just don't think that they should be advertised.
Why?
Because what we do, because what we do in the bedroom, like Shane said, is, and that's what we do in the bedroom.
Like, it doesn't have to be like in the bedroom.
But what do you mean
so,
advertise? So like, should I not post pictures of me and my multiple people that I'm having sex with on my Instagram?
No, you can do that. That's what Instagram
like, yeah, but what do you mean?
for.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what do you mean by advertise then? I think that's what we need to clarify.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Like, we shouldn't have like a banner. Like, I agree. I shouldn't have like my car shouldn't say I'm a swinger and then my phone number on the back of it.
That's what I mean by it.
Gotcha.
Like,
I don't think anyone should do stuff like that for sure.
Yeah,
but are you okay with people being open about having multiple partners?
What about the pineapple? That's the way. It's like, hey, I'm open when you have that pineapple.
It is advertising it. It's the pineapple when you
because
see
you're trying to meet other pineapples.
The upside down pineapple. But yeah, so that's different because that is code worded. But if you're outright,
everyone knows what it means.
Not everybody.
First off, pineapple, least sexiest fruit.
For real though, like it's all pokey. And like,
after watching Little Nicky, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
4 p.m. Yes. 4 p.m. He gets a pineapple shoved in his ass, and I
feel bad for like people in Hawaii. Like that's like their thing, and they're just like, great. Now these swingers have just taken our native pineapple and turned it into a weird sex symbol.
As long as it's turned upside down. But think of the pagans. I mean, they had the pentagram, and then they had someone
try shoving that up your ass.
And now everyone thinks that's a devil's star.
Satan.
Okay,
so it's you. Sorry, I forgot.
I think I agree with mostly everybody. I think that if that's what if you're in a relationship and that's what you both want, and there's consent with that, I think that's great. I do think that there are many people that get stuck with realizing later that they didn't like that, and then it causes issues. But I think if you know that's just how you are and that's how your partner is, then that's 100% your business. And I don't really like any taboo parts for sex. I think if it turns you on and you guys want to do it, you should absolutely I don't know. I don't think sex should be shameful. But I think that we should respect on both sides. There should be respect for people that want to be.
There definitely should be boundaries of societal,
right.
Not every there should be taboos, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's going to be another poll because I disagree with taboos for that.
Okay, wait, no.
If you're into it, fucking do it. As long as everyone's into it, you're not making anyone else uncomfortable.
What if it's like animals, Brie? What if
or children? Yeah, because there's these.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then I take that back. Yeah. No, I'm thinking. Okay. I'm thinking that if you want to have orgies, or if you're into
or if you're licking toes, or you
like.
If you like licking toes, that's fine.
I define that as fetish instead of taboo.
Fetishes instead of taboo. Yeah.
I think Mastertarium makes a good point and says the failure rate of those relationships is astronomical. People do have a tendency to get very, very jealous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would totally be a swinger, 1000%. I think I've told Jaimie this before. I would 100% be a swinger. Except I am so incredibly jealous. I can't even imagine someone else looking at my husband. It pisses me off.
I like to think
you're not allowed to perceive him.
And then it's not fair to be like, but I should be able to be open and you should have to stay.
Well, I like to think of it as these people in polyamorousness haven't will eventually find that one person that they kind of don't want to share, or they will only share on certain occasions or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so at some point everyone will find my toy, you know what I mean? And that's just how people are.
Yeah, and there's the thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jim. Oh.
Okay, I was gonna say then that's that. It's an animalistic thing, like our instinct. Like at the end of the day, as much as we have those urges, it also is our instinct as humans to end up just trying to couple to one person. Like that's inherently what happens, and I think that that's a big part of why those kind of relationships break down, because at the end of the day you have one person who truly believes like that's how they are, and the other person who maybe thinks that they can be that way and then gets into it, and then they realize like, oh my god, this is not what I thought it was.
Both of them are like that, but they're just at different points of that path.
I'll tell you a really quick story. I had a friend who started messing around with her other friend and her friend's boyfriend, and they like agreed. Okay, it was like the couple, she was friends. Occasionally it was this like, oh yeah, occasionally we have like a threesome. Then it became more often, like every day. And then there were times where just the boyfriend would approach her to be just him and her, when before it was supposed to be like the three of them. And then, long story short, things went super fucking sideways, and everyone ended up breaking up with each other. Like, they're no longer friends, and the relationship no longer exists for the female and male in that situation, because someone crossed that boundary. And so it's like, yeah, it's a very tricky situation, but if you can make it work, and if you know your boundaries, and if you truly do want to do like more than one person but still be in a relationship, if you can do it well,
true polyamory is temporary, and like if you truly want to be polyamorous for the rest of your life, then you're single with just long-term attachments.
Yeah. And I mean, there's fucking birds that have monogamous relationships at a higher rate than fucking humans do, and that should probably say something.
A lot of people that enter these types of relationships are doing it because they're so fucking shocked that the person they're with would ask them to do that in the first place, whether you like it or to believe it or not. They're like, holy shit. And then they feel like, well, I'm trying my best to hold on to something here. And then suddenly they find themselves in a relationship where they fucking never would have been in a million years.
Who was that popular YouTuber?
Whipping someone's balls while they're fucking Oh, sorry. Anyways, I apologize.
No, it's true though.
It is true.
Especially like when people are younger. I know that I had relationships that where I was into them, and then like looking at it prospectively from the outside, now that I'm no longer in those, I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Like, why was I so desperate for this person to like care about me that I did all these things and acted these ways so that they would like, I don't know, like love me or whatever.
I have an answer
trying to get
for
out
that.
of them.
I have an answer. I call it the high school paradox.
Explain.
So you get out of high school, right? And you go into the real world. You're not around as many peers as you used to be. As many people. The dating pool has completely fucking changed. You're an adult. You're in the real world. Now you have to deal with real world people problems, and you don't know how to deal with that from older people of the opposite sex or whatever it is. So you start to accept whoever likes you as, oh, that's the person I like. So it's a psychological thing, because you jumped out of your
comfort zone, and so you're trying to find comfort around you. So you're pulling people in who even have the slightest interest in you, because you're recognizing that as, okay, someone who I could be familiar with, who could be in my circle because I'm alone. I understand. I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And
I call it the high school paradox.
Look at you. Words of wisdom from Tony.
That is very interesting, I will say.
Shane was going to say something a minute ago and then didn't.
Who?
You.
You
went to say something and.
It was about what Jeff said. So there was a popular YouTuber who had beef with Moist Critical recently. He's one of Andrew Tate's like cronies or something. But he come out and admitted that he was in a polyamorous relationship and was swinging with his girlfriend, but he did all of that just because he wanted to please her, and it was like fucked him up on the inside. He was like, dude, like watching my girlfriend get fucked ruined my life and shit. And people made jokes at him, but like, yeah, poor kid. Like, he watched his girlfriend get smashed just because he wanted to say yes to make her happy, if you know what I mean. And
I mean, nothing says romantic.
Yeah, like
like another person's body weight on top of your loved one, thrusting inside of them as they're screaming out in front of. All right, anyway, sorry, we should probably move on.
I was thinking of you the whole time.
Give it to us, Bree.
Boom. The
Toss
Super
that
Bowl
salad.
is.
The word salad.
No!
Oh God.
I'm not. Our bird's real.
What is it? We done this.
It probably accidentally came up, so thank God I'm gonna pick a new one.
We've actually done.
We
our
all know that
bird
birds
drill.
aren't real.
Yeah, they're not.
We
real.
don't know that
this
they
for a
are.
fact.
Bird
They
stands
definitely
for
are
just
real.
another government drone.
Yeah.
Best album of the 2000s.
Oh, of the
Ooh.
2000s.
That's like a
Oh,
really
shit.
hard one.
Like
Lamb
the
of
first
God,
decade?
Sacrament.
Fuck.
Oh,
the
wait.
2000s.
White Star's second album.
Okay, hold on. Let me Google something real quick to see.
Shit.
Monday
the name.
Sun.
Okay, hold on.
Best album of the 2000s.
Now,
Ooh.
when did Mary Had a Little Lamb come out?
Not in the 2000s.
About 2000 BC.
Best album of the 2000s, Iowa, Slipknot.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good choice.
Specifically, it was released in 2000. I have no idea if any of you are going to know this. This is super niche, but I'm going to specifically say the album Again by the band, the number 2, and then Together.
Never heard of it.
It's fine. It's a super deep cut if anyone knows anything about Together, but
I don't
fantastic.
know. I'd have to hear it.
It's the hardest part of breaking up is getting back your stuff.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
good. It was like a boy band, but it was a like parody boy band, but they did multiple albums, and there was like a TV show that they had, and it was like one of the guys was like a big fat guy, and like it was very niche, but that's mine. That's my album of the year.
I think I know mine because I'm thinking about the album I probably listened to the most in the 2000s. And
Well,
and I know it was freshly released. Probably Sing the Sorrow from AFI.
Ooh, deep
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
All right,
It was
Jeff,
a
you got
really
one?
good album.
Jeff.
I don't know. Early 2000s. I'm looking up on Google right now and pretending to remember this on the fly. And there's just so many. It's unbelievable. I actually remember them right in order as they came out, and it's crazy. This is just unbelievable. There's so many to pick. I'm gonna go ahead with "Pretty Boy Swag" by Soldier Boy.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
Okay, pretty good flag. All right. Give it.
It was a tough one between
It was a
that
tough
and something
one.
else that was in "Fancy" by Drake because it came out a week. All right, I'm sorry. It's not going to where I wanted to go.
Shane, what about you?
Busted Year 3000.
That wasn't an album.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was a present for everyone. Well, no, Busted. It was on a self-titled album.
Yeah. No, it's on the Year 3000 album.
There wasn't a Year 3000 album. I
I've
know this
got
because
fucking
I was just.
Wikipedia right in front of me.
I had the album. It was a self-titled Busted album.
It's right in front of me on the Wikipedia.
It lies to you.
Corn was really good. Yeah.
Cool.
I like it on the cob. I like it creamed.
Huh?
I like it.
What's
sorry.
yours?
I'm stuck between like American Idiot, Sacrament, Lies for the Liars by
American
the
Idiot,
Used,
yeah.
Taking Back Sunday Louder Now, Say Anything in Defense of the
I'm
Genre.
going to see Taking Back Sunday in the middle of the month.
Oh, my favorite album's English
Yeah,
Jerk.
we're going for our anniversary. Corey's taking me.
Why would you not tell me that?
Stone Sour.
Well, we talked about it in the
Come Whatever
Discord.
May.
You just don't come to the Discord.
That's
We
true.
literally had a whole conversation about it. You don't
Does
look.
Corey even like Taking Back Sunday?
No.
Then why would you go with him and not with me?
Well, you can fly here if you want, but it's also your wedding anniversary. So I feel like that's probably, so that's the problem. It's
Yeah,
like your
it's not
wedding
gonna
anniversary
work.
is the same time as our anniversary accidentally. And
Right.
so
Take Josh
like-
to the gig and be like, it's Joshing Back Sunday.
I was like, you could take Josh here and have like a whole thing. They're doing a whole concert series on Fremont Street.
There's a Fremont Street
Okay,
in
I'm
every
looking this
city.
up. I'm looking this up. I'm looking this
So
up.
now I'm gonna say it's either Slipknot's Iowa or
A good choice.
Korn's greatest hits, where they did the remixes of Brick in the Wall and all those other songs.
Oh.
Not every topic is politically incorrect. It's potluck.
It would be
Yeah, we're
politically
just talking about
incorrect
music.
if I said it was every album that R. Kelly put out.
Yeah, I want to be just like something with the word politics in it. I
you
should
got your
wrap my life
passports?
around one of the most corrupt industries
got
ever and
your
be
shots?
politically correct all the time. That's how I should do it.
Hey.
Wait, Nickelback, all the right
Ooh,
reasons.
Nickelback.
Oh, now we're talking.
Honestly, people
Moving
don't
on,
like Creed, but I
Bree.
thought Creed was a great band. All right, Bree.
Nickelback, go to hell.
No, for real.
Look at his photograph.
That's the only one I know. Who says
Everybody knows every Nickelback song. Is like, look at this photograph.
Yeah, Alex, the fireworks here in Gilroy are always too intense. Using swear words.
Oh,
Fuck
ooh,
Well,
fuck
yeah,
yes.
we fucking do.
I'm gonna have to say, I
I
actually
missed it. I'm
don't
sorry.
trust people who don't use curse words. Like people who use like "gosh darn it" or like "gee god." Like I don't
Bless
trust
your
gosh.
heart.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I curse so much now as an adult is because when I was younger, my aunt used to put soap in my mouth when
Oh
I
shit, we got
cursed.
so much in common. Sorry.
It started off with a bar of soap until my aunt realized that I would bite on it, so then I didn't actually taste it. So then she moved to liquid soap, and she would put liquid soap all over my tongue and make me hold it in my mouth as I like sat over the sink crying. And so now, as an adult, every other fucking word I use is fuck or bitch or cunt or whore because of the horrible trauma in my childhood where I was told that I could not do something. So now that I'm an adult, I want to do it all the time.
And how does that make you feel?
I mean, I'm fine with it. Other people get really offended by how much I curse, and then I'm just like, trauma. Like, I don't know what to say.
I mean, honestly, I had a drill sergeant say when I was in basic training, he said, I want to fucking kill you, and I don't fucking like you, and I hope you fucking die. And I was like, wow, well, that's fun.
At least you
And then
care.
I had another drill sergeant who said, you're not allowed to swear. And I was like, I'm so confused right now. And now I just use fuck as a comma. So it is
love
what it
that.
is.
Pretty much.
What about you, Jeff?
I don't believe in swearing, and I think that those that do it, well, they deserve some sort of punishment in both society or in public and on social media. Anyone, anyone who makes a noise with their mouth in any way that I don't like personally, I think we should put them in some sort of camp or institution.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay. Yeah.
Fuck these
Cage,
people.
Yeah.
Jeff, once again, what was your job in the military?
Well, hey, I've never actually said what I no, I was just a regular grunt.
You were forward. You were.
No, I was an infantryman. I was just living in Bravo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You guys never swear.
And no, but the truth of the matter is that swearing in the West is so weird because if you go to like Europe, it's completely different. You go to the obviously UK is very different. In England, in Ireland, it's very different. But there in the US, it's been literally a handful of people. We can trace it to like 4 people, but 2 of them being one guy that called who controls the radio? Was it the FCC?
The FCC, yeah.
It was a preacher. He heard a radio program come on where people were like, fuck that on the radio. And he was like, how could you ever? And the FBI responded to it in force. And they actually they started this whole entire thing and created this idea and the propaganda, the idea that swears are going to make kids bad. I mean,
Always the Christians.
it's the
Like
same.
the Satanic Panic, right?
Go to like Mark. What is it? What's his name? Mark Macaroni over there in France. This guy's
Macron.
video games for the riots right now. It's the same concept.
Oh, yeah.
Like they able to literally say things that have been debunked and disproven trillions of times and get away with it. And they did that with swears. You can't swear on TV. You can't swear on the radio. People say things like jackass, and everyone's like, "Whoa, hey, whoa!" And it's
How
like,
dare you? Yeah.
the heat went up in the room 10 degrees because someone said something that's even slightly controversial. People have become so
How dare you?
attuned to be. Let me show you how offended I am.
Yeah.
That they can always fall back on. Hey, look at that. He's even or she's even using these words, these swear words. They must be unintelligent and a waste of my time, and instantly able to marginalize people out of the conversation, out of your life. And it's just so dumb. I can't even spell my own name.
So,
You know.
Sometimes I can't either.
No, I'm just kidding. But I just feel like it's where people that overreact to language and sounds are just sometimes it's scary, right? Because the sound of something you can be like,
Yeah,
fuck, and like swear, but it's that's.
I don't understand why
it's a
people get so
word.
offended by words. Yeah, I think it's so frustrating to me. Like, do we not always tell our kids like sticks and stones break your bones, but words will never hurt me? But then they grow up and then like everyone's so offended by people's fucking words. Like, it's
they grow
words.
up and they turn into pussies.
Sticks and stones will break my bones. Remember that?
There's
Holy
nothing wrong
shit.
with being sensitive.
I think
That
there's-
used to be the
I
way
just
it was.
want to point out that this
different
comment
line.
here,
Yeah,
this is not correct.
I think it is correct sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, I know who wrote
Generally,
that. I just
people who swear a
real
lot are
dumb
actually
he has
are
no
generally
fucking
more
room to
intelligent.
talk.
My mother, you know, I always thought she was pretty intelligent. And one time we were in a grocery store when I was a kid, and some guy swore at her. Some guy was like, "You believe that? You're a fucking idiot." And I heard that, and I like turned around and saw that, and she looked at him and she said these words, and I want everyone to listen to them right now. She said, "She said, oh, swear words? That's a sign someone has lost the debate."
Oh.
You fucking idiot! No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's moving
I'm
on.
in love with it.
All right,
Moving
post
on.
the next
My
topic.
bad joke. Sorry. See, I'm just bombing
No, we
today.
love your bad jokes. They're our favorite.
No,
That's why
that
we
was
invite
good.
you.
That was
These
funny.
kill on stage. All right. I'm giving
what
you my
Dick Cheney said.
Yeah. Hey,
The topic,
we don't bring him up.
cults.
Gonna say it 3 more times.
Cults.
Cults.
Dick Cheney is a hot piece of ass.
Cults are everywhere.
Cults.
They're
I
we
remember.
talk about
I remember writing that at your dining room table.
CULT or cults as like the Colt 45.
Now, I
Damn,
think
don't even
baby
know.
horses are a valuable thing, and we
I
should
do.
continue
Yep.
to bring cults
Horses.
to,
We're back to
and-
horses
all right.
again.
I'm the worst.
No,
So
here's the
cults
deal.
can stay.
There's a lot of recent spiking in cults around the world. I feel like for a while we were
internet.
like people were like studying them. There was lots of podcasts about cults, but we have a resurgence of it again. Recently, I don't remember the country. I want to say like Venezuela or something, but there was like a massive cult who all just killed themselves. Like recently, that has not been in the news that much. It's really hard to find information about it, but like they're still going on. Like it's happening on Twitter. It's happening in real life. There are cults fucking everywhere. And I think that unfortunately, like as humans, we do these cycles of things and we're back on these like cult spiritual cycle thing again. And it is as rampant as ever. Even that one lady who was in jail, she was the NXT cult
Yes.
or whatever. She
Oh,
got
yeah,
released.
yeah.
The
sex cult.
actress. Yeah.
Nixium.
Nixium, yeah. People think that we're a cult at Toddy Waba.
Which is fucking wild.
I think
I
that's
mean,
funny to me.
You make the joke about blood sacrifices all the time, so
That's
I can see
true.
where
That-
people get it from.
You get what you ask
True.
for,
You
okay?
get what you ask for. Listen, we just have a weird sense of humor, and people take a lot of the things that we say very fucking seriously, and like that's their
That's
fault.
their mistake.
That's their fault. Like I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, cults are a real big thing right now, and it's not super in the media, but it's 100% happening behind the scenes, and people are still to this day incredibly susceptible to them. And I think now more than ever.
I think
Yes.
cults are very easy to, because everyone, like, it goes back to politicians and stuff. Like, the underappreciated will always look for a savior or someone to
Goes
lead
back to
them.
religion.
Yeah, exactly. Religion, politicians, like, all of these institutions are just cults, but with extra steps. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, Shane. So tell me, what's the difference between a politician and a cult leader?
well, they both spout ideology and demand faith upon ideology. They both
About
demand.
faith.
You said
What's the
differences or
difference?
similarities.
The difference is
I
faith.
know the similarities. What's the difference between
The
a
difference is
politician
faith.
and a?
You're supposed to
cult
have like
leader.
No, there's no
religious
difference. There's
people.
basically no
The only
difference.
difference is
Yeah,
one
one-
is sanctioned within society and one isn't.
No, no,
Because
they're
one,
both
one is
they're
about
both
the seat of,
sanctioned in-
seat of
They're
power.
both
and one
sanctioned,
is about-
sanctioned with society, but one puts a metaphysical, like extraterrestrial being as the savior, and one puts it as an ideology, a country, a person, a presidential candidate, a party, whatever. But they're
Right,
both
but-
ideas. Like,
Right.
They're just both random concepts of how you as an individual can be saved from your plight and how you can better yourself and all the rest of it. But
because the message, there's not a big difference between the message between a cult leader and a politician. They're just like, oh, if you vote for me or if you believe in me, then I will make you prosperous. I will make your life better. And then what do? They send you to war or they make you kill yourself.
So here's an interesting one. What happens when there's a crossover between cult mentality and politics, like we saw with QAnon?
You get QAnon.
You get
QAnon happens. Like when
you get what happened in Washington.
Yeah,
you get. But is it any different though? Ultimately speaking, if you're going to compare or find the equivalency between all of politics and cult-like behavior, then therefore all of the politics that exist would derive, their actions would derive from cult-like behavior. So QAnon would simply be just another new thing, the phenomenon from it. I think, generally speaking, the phenomenon of people being duped or gathering together has never been different. The only difference is, like you guys said earlier, it's been tuned and just how society's criticized it into some sort of position. Most of our entire culture that we live in and have ever lived in and will ever live in pretty much forever has been set up because of a cult. Regardless if religions are not cult by some scholars' standards, everyone knows what we're talking about right now. One's kind of the more official cult that instead of telling people to drink the punch and end it all, they were industrious and they got people going and made them work for it. So it's like there ain't much difference. The phenomenon of people clumping together and just believing what they're told goes for everyone on every umbrella, but certainly some have shown way darker outcomes. And for Christ's sakes, QAnon was saying that fucking JFK Jr. was going to run with Trump.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
it's like never going to end. Humans are like that. That movie. Sorry, I just want to. What's that alien movie with the District 9? Yes. Humans are District 9. It's like that was a perfect little. What do you call it? I don't know words, but that was us. Yes.
Allegory.
Parable. Allegory.
It's very interesting because if you look at human history and you look at the way that we have created rulers to rule over us, and then the people who will defend those rulers to the death, and it's kind of sad to look at it. Like humanity, we look at ourselves now as being like free people, especially in America. We believe we're free people, we're free to make our own decisions, we can do whatever we want, but you really can't, because you kind of get pigeonholed into you believe this or you believe that, and if you believe this, you're the wrong person, and it's based on the people that you hang out with, what you believe. Luckily, I hang out with all you motherfuckers, and we all have different opinions.
Well, everything is a cult by that very definition. Because even if you're anti-establishment and you completely cut yourself off with that, if you have peers in your life that you try to impress or strive towards, or any number of things like that, then that's a cult mentality, because you're doing something that's against your better interests for the interests of appreciation or self-gratification or anything like that.
It's not a far stretch from there to like relationship dynamics.
Agreed.
Well, and how is social media not a cult?
It's the biggest. It's the largest.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, look at Markiplier, look at Mr. Beast, the people who have millions and millions of viewers.
Literally just look at TikTok. A trend happens, and then everybody goes and does it. Like that's literally how a cult works. Like literally, you see something and then you blindly just do it.
But the leader is the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Social media providing and amplifying a capability that human beings once thought they could do metaphysically, like talk to other people from across the world or whatever. Maybe they can, I don't know. But is a perfect example of social media being an amplified version of communication. What happened? people like Andrew Tate and all these individuals were like, haha, millions of people. That very phenomenon we're talking about was able to reach people so much easier now. You used to have to go around and like shave your head, put this on, fucking, do my laundry, let me have sex with your wife, and then you come on, like
No, now it's just give me money and
I'll tell you the secrets to the universe. Yeah.
Well, this is a downside to the propagation of information through the internet. It's like, I have access to all of human history in my phone, right? But I also have access to a whole load of bullshit that people are selling that they used to have to back in the 1800s, you get one guy that turned up in town like,
hey, we did get fake news in here.
You want to buy some snake oil and stuff like that. And now it's hey, come to my website. You want to buy some herbal tea?
Exactly.
It's the same kind of it's the same kind of shit.
You want to buy my bracelet?
The internet is enabled.
Yeah. My
phone.
The internet is just like the Wild West.
Yeah, the information age has totally changed how you can program people to follow your word.
But it makes people more vulnerable, though. When you're in the social media paradigm and you're like locked into this, I'm not good enough. Look how well everyone else is living, and then someone plays on that vulnerability and draws you in.
Boom.
Like the internet
it's
makes
a natural,
it worse.
but I've talked about this before. It's a natural instinct, though, because if you look at quite a lot of mammals and stuff, which we are related to, they are very herd mentality or have some rough structure of social groups, but they all have a leader of that social group, and they all have a group of people following, and that is, we are animals. We're cows. We're whales. We're no better by any kind of stretch of the marks, other than we can speak and invent things. But our natural impulse is to follow somebody.
It's true. All right, Bree, why don't you pull one more topic for our last topic, and then we'll get out of here.
Jeff has something to say.
Oh, go for it, Jeff.
Sorry, I just I'll gray in the chat. I apologize.
No, yeah, talk to the chat. Go for it.
Yes, you are in a cult if you bought herbal tea online.
I saw that.
River Moon Coffee.
River Moon Coffee.
Okay, Bree, what do you got?
Ukraine.
Oh,
Jesus
spicy to
Christ.
land on.
Okay.
I'm actually, you know what? I have zero to say about this topic because
Rayla's gonna get shut down by
here's the deal. I don't watch the news. Most people who know me, I actually don't watch much television in general. It's really not my thing. I don't watch movies. I don't, my brain doesn't care to consume that kind of entertainment. It's just not really that interesting to me. Mostly because of my ADD. And if anything is longer than like 30 seconds, I'm not interested in it. And so I genuinely know absolutely nothing about this topic. And so I have absolutely no opinion because I have zero context what is going on over there currently. So I bow out of this one gracefully.
Let me step
Uninformed.
in here.
Uninformed. Completely uninformed, and I got nothing to say. Go for it, Jeff. I yield to Jeff. I yield the floor to Jeff.
Story time with Jeff.
The United States is going to war with China and Russia at the same time. And this is just our proxy software trial for many systems that we really didn't know how they'd stand up to a basically first world military, which obviously appearances are hard to, when you see in the stuff that's happening over there, you might not think of that, they're first world military, but you're seeing a trial of systems that have never been used anywhere in the field. They've just been used in training. And whenever that happens, you will see a conflict pop up in the world, or at least a conflict used in the world where these systems can be used. Every single one of these systems that we are training with today have been sent to Ukraine to basically be field tested. And I'm talking about kamikaze drones, mortar tubes that fire multiple systems at once that linger around. You're increasing fire teams going from 3 humans to 3 humans and an eye in the sky that can grab targets for them and give them descriptions real time, which took a whole team and a communication and drones and a talk and radio communication, all this stuff, and all of it happens real time now. All of that is being field tested with one of the worst militaries. No offense to the Ukrainians and the Russians, but could you imagine how it's going to be handled in the hands of a very grizzled country that uses that has been well practiced at war? War is coming so fast with China that you're seeing 10 to 15 years of tech used in Ukraine in just 1 year. You don't see this very often, and it's a bad sign to come, because
I'm scared.
it's the only country in the world that can't be sanctioned off, and that we've ever fought, and it's going to be a big one, because the Chinese produce more stealth drones than we do. So the same tools we're field testing in Ukraine, they've already not only been using, not using in battle, but producing. They've been doing.
There's only one thing that can save us.
Aliens?
Yeah.
And the whole UAP topic is deeply connected to it, so look out.
Of course. I'll say.
No, Shane, it's Shane's turn.
Okay.
Circle. We're going in a circle.
Sorry.
It's a difficult one, because I'm quite into history, and it's just proof that the Cold War never kind of ended. We took a break for a hot minute.
That's a good point.
It's geopolitical. This area of land, Poland and the surrounding areas, the people of Russia and the surrounding areas have always fought over, because they're very resource rich and so on and so forth. Russia is having economical crises with their natural resources in Siberia and things, because logistically it's a fucking nightmare. So this is why we're seeing expansions into Africa and stuff. Some of what Putin is saying is true. Like, NATO's expansion has just been playing chicken with Russia for a fucking long time. But then, like Jeff says, it's motivated. They do it for political and money gains. If a war breaks out in any of these regions, the Western world profits tenfold. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult one, because innocent people are losing their lives just because flags and shit from ages ago and people can profit. It is scary seeing that this is just kind of testing grounds and proxy wars to see how the other eastern side of the world would stand up to the American might, like you say. But I don't know. I don't know if we will go to war with China. I think there'll be a lot of concessions before we go to war with China, but we didn't pull China, we pulled Ukraine. But
yeah,
I think both sides in the war of Ukraine have rights to what they're saying historically, but war is a fucking stupid construct that literally only profitizes billionaires, and the only weapons we should be using as the human race now is to the sky if necessary.
KARI.
Jeff's muted. Jeff, you're muted.
Sorry, but I meant about 2032. I think that's what we're going to see what we're trying. I didn't mean around the corner, but yeah, I agree with what you said, though. The historic thing is what we should look at. Now this area, this never stopped. The Cold War never stopped.
Pissed. China's
and it's
still
all
pissed
part of it.
because
They just the unionship they're going to have to create. They just have to. We have too many friends that are going to say, okay, well, we'll do what you say. Let's all go to war with China, and we'll be see you in the Philippines. And it's like, and it's going to be gnarly. So they have to create an axis, and they have to resurrect Hitler, and they have to get Mussolini and I don't know.
I agree with Shane. It's a private technology company issue too, because the companies that are making this technology that's being field tested right now, they stand to gain a lot of money. And like, it makes me think about these efforts with like UAP tracking with advanced radar. So like, this advanced radar, could it be trying to get it out of the hands of private companies into the public sector to be able to use it in conflicts?
What do you mean?
I saw Jeff jump out of his seat then, so I feel like he has something to say.
Guys. This entire time they had birds, balloons, and drones on the paperwork, and that's like it's like they said that's what they were working on the UAP thing, and all these companies are standing up to mitigate a phenomenon. What are they, magicians?
Right.
There's UAP companies that are starting all over the place. You're seeing them. It's like, what? And then you ask them what they do, and it's like, none of your business.
We do things and stuff.
We are here for a safe aerospace.
We have a government contract, so we can't say what it is. With
safe aerospace. Yeah. Who doesn't want safe? When did we were like, you know what? Was it bad?
Yeah,
was it unsafe?
When was it? When all of a sudden did we have to start worrying about us guys?
Wait, this random people telling us about. All right, sorry.
I'll tell you when. It was December 11th, 2017. That's when we had to start worrying.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right, Tony, your thoughts on Ukraine?
Ukraine is... Look, I feel for these people. They got invaded by Russia. Russia is probably one of the last fucking countries you want to be next to and be invaded by.
Don't freak out, KARI.
The Russians
Russia, not
KARI
Ukraine.
is not next to Russia.
KARI gets scared about Ukraine.
I mean, me and Shane are way closer.
Well, that's because Europe is very
are.
small. But Russia fights the way Russia has fought for the last 400 years. Their doctrine for war is throw people at it. Throw as many people as you can, because we have a lot of people, so we'll just keep throwing people at it. And they still do that to this day. And they might still be it's kind of up in the air what's going on with the Wagner group. But they don't have the moralities that the countries that signed the Geneva Convention have. And it was kind of a joke in the military with being at war with Iraq and Afghanistan, with the Taliban and ISIS and everybody else. We have to abide by the Geneva Conventions, and they never fucking signed them. So what rules are we following compared to the rules that they're following? Russia does not give a shit. They will do whatever the fuck they have to do to make themselves look good. And what people need to understand is, if Putin is weak, if he appears weak, the next person who rises up to remove Putin will be worse than him, because that's the way that the Russian society is. They see weakness. They want somebody who will go in there and do what he will not. And at this point, what won't he do? He won't launch nuclear weapons into Ukraine.
But nobody in Russia has consent towards nuclear weapons.
Nobody in America has consent to nuclear weapons either.
It's also to note what Tony just said. Whoever replaces him will actually, which is really a danger, will actually be Putin there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they do have a history of jumping out of windows for some reason.
No, it was good. It was good. All right, Bree, what are your thoughts? The last final of the topic of the day.
I don't really have too much to say either, because I don't think I've been following it. I will say war has always freaked me out. A part of me feels like we're always on the brink of war. So there's always that part in my head that's it doesn't really matter what. People always think something is coming, and it never does. So maybe we won't. But then I also understand that maybe it's just been leading up to this big finale. It's very well possible. But I try not to focus on it too much, because, again, I think since we've been children, every day we're on the brink of war. There's always new stories that are hitting. It's always it's coming. This happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, but nothing actually happens.
We were never at war with Eurasia. We were always at war with Eurasia.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
300 years of peace and last 3,000 years on planet Earth. Everyone.
Unfortunately, it's just so sad to me that we just
can't get it together.
The way that we handle the world, just that people forget that we have these borders, but it's all the world. It pisses me off. We make enemies out of other territories, and not even territories, just other areas.
Other people, yeah.
It's they're
if
literally
you want
just
to
us.
get corruption out of the government, the people need to rise up and stop it.
In France.
Hey, Night Glazer in the
I
chat.
just don't believe that. I just can't see that happening. What are you supposed to do? Riot in the streets?
No, you can hold people accountable.
But how?
And you could put in systems in place.
Hands.
You could put systems in place where you get rid of all of the bureaucrats.
But you don't though, because in order to put all the systems in place, you need a government.
Hey, Night
Okay,
Glazer in the
we'll get
chat.
into this.
You ever heard of liberating Europe with the biggest amphibious invasion that's ever occurred in the history of humanity? What are you talking about? We never won a land war. Jesus
World
Christ.
War II.
Have
like
you
the
ever
Middle East.
fucking Canada? In the United
waiting.
States? What are you, nuts? Sorry.
I'm waiting for the squids to fall out of the sky. Like that's just how I feel.
I just want to say that I'm really proud of everyone that we waited until the very end of the episode to really talk all over each other. You guys did so good today. We needed a little bit of coaching, but you guys are coming. We're coming together along. I'm really proud of you all.
at it.
Yeah. I do want to highly stress to everybody in the chat that once this video ends, I need you to go and leave a comment. You could literally leave a comment. I like your butthole. This show is stupid. Anything you want.
Tony.
Just leave a comment down there for us. Please, because it helps the algorithm, and we know that YouTube doesn't push us to the top. So we know that you guys love us, but we need other people to love us too.
If you want to argue with me, I will respond to every comment. Hate me.
Yeah, do it. Any final thoughts from anybody? We'll go around circle. Jeff, final thoughts from you?
I think Paper Bagman has the ring in his possession, and it's corrupting him. He said he wants to hate to go his way. No, all right. But no. Thank you very much for having me again. It's been great. Please leave a comment below, of course. Everyone in the chat, you're great. Thank you for being here.
Hit that like button too.
This is a very unique show.
Good.
That's the point.
People should be happy about that, and they should celebrate that. So please
celebration.
Play that music or whatever. I don't know.
Love that.
I was hoping the beat dropped right then.
Maybe say roll that
I would look so cool.
Tape, exactly.
roll that
Shane. Final
Pleasure
thoughts?
as always. Pleasure as always. Hope to be on again soon. Yeah, comment and hate me. Like I said, I'll respond to it all. It'll be fun.
Smash the
KARI?
like button. Smash it. Smash it.
It's been another enjoyable episode of Uninformed. I have a video to lead out with today, so when we end, I'm just going to remove you all and play the video and then end.
That's fine. Tony, final thoughts?
You put a lot of work in your stuff. This is gonna be good.
Oh, I didn't make it. It's just a funny.
Just listen to this.
probably
Okay. So I love everybody who watches us, who leaves a comment, who even Gobstopper. Still love you.
Who?
Dick. Just go ahead. Right now we're sitting at like 9 likes, and that's way before. I mean, there's 20 of y'all watching right now. Hit the fucking like button.
Wars.
Just do something. Like, help us help you.
Maybe it's because the rest of them all thumbs it down.
My thumb's all the way over here.
Help me help you.
Fuck that guy.
Bring my
All right,
thumb
Bree,
all the way.
your final thought?
I enjoy the show.
She's too busy.
Do this for hours if I
Working.
had hours, you know?
Yeah.
So I appreciate everybody being here on the screen with me and everybody here in the comments, everyone that's going to listen and watch after. We love you and we appreciate your support.
We do.
Take care of each other.
We
All right.
appreciate the 74 minutes of your day that you gave us.
KARI, roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, I'm gonna take you all out now. Bye.
Do it now.
Bye.
It's just me now. Hi everyone.
I wonder what actually happened to all the stuff that I've lost in my life. What the f***? Check this out. All the stuff you've ever lost. My old speaker. Where was it? In the backyard at Sam W's house. My old sunglasses? Fell off the head while you were on the Tilt-A-Whirl at the spring fair. Fucking spike ball. That one was in the ocean, halfway to Japan. My old Steamboat Willie stuff? Oh, your dad sold that. Garage sale. Seriously? It was a wrong box situation. He gave you the money.
My AirPods. I just lost it.
Right under your nose, pal. Passenger side car seat.
Can I keep them?
No.
Why?
Because this is magic.
Wait, who even are you?
I'm you. Me? I'm the you that you lost. The old you. But you didn't leave me in any one place. You dropped pieces of me all along the way. Sometimes to protect yourself. Sometimes to be cool. Whatever it was, I am lost now. And you're someone else. Why can't I have you back? You're doing perfectly fine without all this stuff. You don't need me. Anyway, I was gonna... He's lying to you. He's not an old version of you. He's a thief. He's been following you for the last 2 decades. What? You never actually lost any of that stuff. He's just been stealing it. And I almost got away with it, too. You never lost yourself, my boy. The old you is still in there.
What the fuck is the message of this video? What are we trying to say here?
change or be yourself, or like, can I just have my AirPods back, boy?